I swapped the 6.0 into my 1971 F-350, and here's how. she goes. right, here's the final product. How did it turn out, right? Came a long way. It started as the black pickup truck, and here it is the red dump truck. Pretty cool, right? 1971, sitting on top of the frame out of the 06 F-350 with the dump body on the back. All right, let's take a quick walk around and show some more specific stuff that the video may have not covered. Obviously, here's the cab set right down on the frame here. Pop the door open. Basically original stuff inside. The wire harness has to be cleaned up a little bit yet, but the gauges work. Kind of what you'd expect in there. Nothing crazy. I'll come back to that in a minute, but let's walk around the outside and see what everybody wants to see. All right, it's got the big 22.5-inch Alcoa wheels on there with massive tractor trailer wheels on here. These are freaking huge. And it's got the adapters, of course, with the spiked lugs. We walk around and you just sit here looking at the front of the truck, and you're like probably thinking you have no idea what engine's in here until you pop the hood. And let me tell you, the motor of a 6.0 fits better in this truck than it does in the Superduty that they designed it to. I think you could pull a cylinder head off of this motor underneath here. So here's how the swap turned out. I mean, nothing crazy. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty clean. Try to keep it simple. The motors in there used pretty much all Ford parts to make it happen. And a 6.4 coolant bottle over here. Here, Julia, show this thing right here. Used a 6.4 coolant bottle just to make it simple. I don't know, pretty much stock under there. All right, while the cab was up, put studs in it, new push rods in it. Pretty much it. It's stock. There's no tunes on it or anything yet, but it doesn't make great power, so it needs to be tuned for sure. The wheels are too big. Show them this right here. PTO pump for the dump body, running off the serpentine belt right here. All right, and then it runs back to the dump body back here, which is, it doesn't work yet, but the plumbing and everything's in there. I just haven't hooked it up. It needs a tank for the hydraulic oil to run the dump bed, but it will work, and it's going to run off the PTO of the motor, so it's going to be pretty sweet. And yeah, I mean, you walk around this side, the wheels need to be polished. Take a look at the wheels. They're dull. I know, they need this part's shiny, this part needs to be polished.
Someone at the truck show today said that they can polish them for you. Are you going to take them up on their services?
I might. I don't know. Somebody needs to polish the wheels. I tried to do it by myself. I can't do it.
Well, that's all right. It's an old truck. It has all the charm.
Yeah. Like, and stuff like this should be polished. It should be shiny.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, yeah.
A work in progress.
They're nice. These are 5-inch they came off of a Peterbilt. I just hooked them in, welded it all together. So it's straight piped back to the dual stacks, which is pretty cool. The dump body on this truck is super narrow. It's not like a new dump body where it's as wide as the wheels. Granted, these are very wide wheels, but the dump body is like, I think it's like 6 feet wide, which is like super narrow from here to there. And the wheels stick out a bunch.
Oh yeah.
Take a look at those wheels. They stick out a bunch. It looks weird. We need to put some sort of fender here and extend the mud flap to cover this wheel, because it's, I don't know. This is it's not legal to drive like this with the wheel sticking out so far with no mud flap, so we got to figure something out like this. Cab's got like 60,000 miles on it. The motor's got, shoot, how many miles does the motor have? I don't remember. It's like 120 maybe. I don't remember. But everybody asks me, was the wiring hard? And come look at here. Wiring's not that hard. Granted, I could have done a little cleaner job. I was rushing to get it to the show, so wires are exposed and stuff, but it's going to clean up well. It's going to work by sticking the key in here and turning the switch to start it, but I didn't get that far. So basically, I took the harness out of the Superduty. As you can see, here's the fuse box, like nice, clean right there with all the fuses ready to go. It's isolated so that the motor can run, the transmission can run off of the harness. And then the truck's harness that came with the cab, when you turn the key, you got your blinkers on the dash. Here, you got your blinkers on the dash there. You got your blinkers here. the truck's harness that was original is running the lights. It runs the wipers, it runs all that. So I didn't touch any of that. None of that is the Superduty part. That's all the original Ford stuff. And then, oh, that looks ugly. The instrument cluster, see, I didn't tie up all these wires, but the instrument cluster is stuck here because if I can't run it, the truck doesn't drive right. So this has to be here, and it was originally a stick shift, so the knob was coming up here to stick shift. So I ran my shift cable for the automatic transmission, the 5R110 up here. My plan is to build a center console to hide this because this cannot leave. We need this in here or else the truck doesn't, for whatever reason, won't run right. To do that, and then to hook the shifter right to this center console shifter and build a console right around it and not see any of that crap. Then the wiring in here will look really clean, and I'll clean that up with a relay box and you won't even tell that there's a Superduty harness in here. But yeah, this thing's old school. I mean, look at the seat belts. These are like just single seat belts, no lap shoulder. It's just the lap. Julia had fun driving in that, right?
Oh yeah.
Old school.
Oh, like I was in a school bus or something.
Yeah. And then this truck is very hot when you're in here. There's no AC at all. So let me show you how you get the AC. You shut the door. Rolling the window down is one thing, but these are lifesaver. These little, I don't know what you call these, quarter windows, whatever. These things grab the air and shoot it in here. That's your AC right there. It does have heat, but no AC. It's got a little radio too, but that doesn't work. And then people are going to ask, how much does it cost? How much does it cost to build this? And the answer may surprise some of you because it doesn't cost that much. The piece of crap truck that the cab was riding off of that I was driving daily to build this with the motor, the transmission, and the frame was, I think, $1,000 I bought that truck for. As it sat, I scrapped the cab, I scrapped whatever was junk on it, so I got a little bit of money back to that. But the red truck I bought here, bought it at an auction. The red body and the dump body that came off the original truck was $300. All right, so there's $1,300. Pair it together with a couple of custom parts. The gauge cluster in the truck is custom. That's more expensive than both of the trucks were. That was about, I think, $1,200 just for the gauge cluster with the speedometer and all that. Right, that's pretty crazy. That's more expensive than the entire truck. The wheels were more expensive than both of the trucks. All right, the adapters are $1,000 to run these big semi wheels on this truck, and the rims and the tires. I think I bought the rims for $100 each, and the tires I got for $100 each. So do the math there. There's six wheels on here, times 2. There's $1,200. So the wheels, I have probably the most money into this by far, but the actual workings of the truck, not much at all, because it's nothing more than a Superduty harness and the harness that came off of here, and just knowing how to make the two work together is all that it takes to really do this. Then a lot of people ask me, how does it drive? Because the way that it looks, it's very short. It's got these massive big wheels on it. All right, you can answer the question for yourself. It drives about as good as you'd think it drives. It's not a great drive. It's not anything like you're going to be cruising on a Sunday in this thing. It's a rough, bumpy ride. It feels like an old truck with that big ass steering wheel in the middle. The seat's got a little bit of spring to it, which is nice because you're kind of going down the road like this, trying to help the truck pick its way. But that's why we have the nice trailer here that we put the truck on to drive 3 hours to come to this show. We parked the truck here, drove it about 5 miles into the show. It can do that 3 hours. I'm not going to make it 3 hours in this thing without hopping out because...
What show did we go to today?
Brought it down here to Lifted and Lower today in South Jersey. We're in Swedesboro, and we were in the VIP section just driving around the whole time, having a bunch of fun. We got to get some power to the truck because it can't do a burnout as it sits with these big wheels. We got to get a little bit of a tune on it, and it's got the stud, so it'll be able to handle a little bit of a tune, but we got to get the wheel spinning a little bit. It goes, you put your foot on the gas and it's like a 7.3. It's slow, but it's cool. It's fun. It turns heads. Everybody that we drive by, I always, what the heck? I think this stands out a little bit more, which is why I like going the route of this. The dually 6.0 Bronco, I thought that was totally different. And the Excursion limo I'm building next, I think that those are all head turners. They don't even fall in the category of of the average truck. So that's why I like building them, because they're cool. And more, I want to prove that I can make the concept reality, because this was started as a concept. We had this truck for 2 years sitting there stock, and we always said we're going to put a motor in this thing and do something cool, and here we are. It feels good, it's done. And who knows, maybe we'll do a load of mulch with it, with Steve working on the landscaping end. We'll fix the dump body, we'll go do a mulch job, because everybody wants to see the truck doing work. I've read the comments, they want to see it pulling a trailer and all this. Maybe we'll do that, that would be sweet. But I thank you guys for all your constant support with the truck. Let me know what I should do to it if you have any recommendations, and let me know what I should build next, because I got all these crazy ideas in my head. I just need a little bit of motivation pointed in the right direction, and I'll build it. I don't care, I'll figure it out. I'll make it happen. So appreciate that, Julia. Thank you for being a wonderful camera holder. And
anytime.
hopefully we see you guys out at some of these shows. I love going to shows, it's fun talking to random people, pop the hood, see what's under there, so it's always fun.
No burnout.
I can't do it.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
All right, and I'm just editing the video, some last minute thoughts as I'm closing it out. I know it's not really a true how-to on every single step on how to do this. Guys, this is a highly involved project. This took me countless hours after work. Every day I was chipping away 1 hour, 2 hour here after work, and so many custom parts, so many things that I had to do on the fly that I didn't even think of when I started. It's always like that with a project like this. I could write a book as high as the ceiling with every step that I did. I mean, even the gauge cluster that comes with this thing from Dakota Digital has a packet that comes with it like this thick, just on how to do that part. All right, so there's no way in this 20-minute video it's going to be a step-by-step. It's impossible to cover all of the steps. But with that being said, I just wanted to show some of the highlights as I filmed it and as I went through, and I was really pushing for it for the show. So the truck is not totally done yet. The dump body will be operating, which I will be showing you that. I will show you more of the gauge cluster, I promise, in another video. There's still a couple of things that may need to be addressed there, but for the most part, I think 5 out of the 6 gauges work and everything else on it works. So just running through it as quick as I could in this video just to show the proof of concept. Yes, it works. Is it a diesel swap, pick the motor up and put it into the chassis? No. I already know that there's going to be some comments on that. It is not that. It is a cab swap, but I still consider it a diesel swap. It is the easiest way to do a project like this versus taking the motor and putting it into that old frame, because the axles on the old frame are far inferior to the Superduty coil spring axles that are in it right now. So even if I was putting it on the old frame, it would still be getting those coil spring axles, which is why I swapped the cabs, because it is a lot easier. Don't have to make up motor mounts, don't have to make up transmission mounts, don't have to mount axles, don't have to mount a fuel tank, don't have to do this. That is a lot easier if you just pick the cab up, put it on to the frame and wire it together and make it work. Hook the steering up, hook the coolers up. It's a lot easier to do stuff like that. Anyways, if you have anything specific that you are curious, maybe I will make a video on it. If you leave a comment down below, you want to see this, how I did that, I would be more than happy to go through it if there's enough interest to cover that particular topic. and I can show you how I did it. But like I said, a lot of this stuff is just, you got to just figure it out with a project like this. There's no instruction manual. There's none of that. It's just, you got to make some of the parts you got to make. So you got to make it work. But that's why I build projects like this, because they're cool. And why not make it your own? Make it your own way. Do something that nobody else is doing, or very few if there's people who have done it. So sweet, cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and more projects like this coming in the future for sure. And the excursion limo, let's not forget that. I have a motor decision coming up in probably the next week or two. So stay tuned on that. Are we putting the 7.3 or are we putting a 6.0 in the excursion limo? Let's see.